Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a WIP and chat, which I relabeled as WIP of the week because I used to do them every Wednesday and well, that got hard to commit to. So now it's just whenever I get around to posting it. And speaking of posting, quite a few of you may have noticed I'm really not posting a lot of content. The last 2 Sundays I've had live streams scheduled, but I ended up pushing them out another week and then pushing them out another week. And I'm not trying to be flaky by any means. Gosh, I'm trying to think when the last time I even streamed was. And really the videos I've uploaded have been flip throughs or something easy I can do. Even though I have a pile of ideas and content ready to go, I just couldn't get myself to sit down and film. So I guess the best way to put it is I have burnout, not from YouTube specifically, just life. Things have gotten really chaotic here and busy. And I'm sure many of you are having the exact same experiences. It's not like I'm the only person on this planet, but yeah, like everything happened at once, I guess. My son's soccer season kicked off, and we had his tournaments throughout the summer, but that was easy. But then my one daughter bumped up to competition dance, and that added an extra day of the week for her. And then my youngest upgraded to competition gymnastics, so that added another day of the week. And all of their sports are falling on the exact same day, same times. So it's been really stressful, like just balancing their sports, And then I have an Etsy store, which has been doing really well, actually, and I'm super grateful to all those who support my store and buy my products and leave reviews, because reviews always help. The one thing I hate about Etsy is if someone leaves you a 4-star review, which isn't a bad review by any means, but Etsy penalizes you because if you don't carry an average of 4.8 or higher, then you don't get a star seller badge. So that basically means you have to get 5 stars out of 5 stars, because a 4-star actually lowers your average. And I just feel that kind of sucks because that's the only way you can get a star seller badge. And I'm like, well, sometimes people don't want to give 5 stars. I don't know. So that part's a little stressful. And just then always I've been trying to find a way to balance like how I'm going to do my inventory, because for those of you who don't know, I do diamond painting wax and putty, but then I also do aromatherapy soy wax melts. They're kind of, you would more likely know of Scentsy, like those types of things, but I make them by hand. And then I also, every month for the last 3 months, I've been doing this Diamond Painters accessory box, which is really fun because I'm like creating a box of the month that comes with a diamond painting pen, a tray, then the scent of the month, and they're all limited edition. None of them will ever repeat themselves either. So like once it's gone for good. You won't be able to get your hands on that particular box or its contents. Other than like the putty and wax, I'll bring those back, but everything else, like the tray, cover minder, and pen won't repeat. Because, well, if you want to buy one every month, I don't want you to end up with the overlap. So I've been working on like trying to balance that, like, okay, what days should I fulfill orders, what days should I ship orders, because believe it or not, packaging up orders is not easy. It is really time consuming, so you have to have like a day dedicated to just order packing. And it took me a little while to figure that out. Like, okay, I need a day like where I pack orders, and it's not the day where I make orders, because I was just getting overwhelmed. So yeah, I've been kind of like going through, company growing pains, we'll call it. Nothing bad. I'm not complaining. Just it took some time, but I was getting busy with that. My job is still around for right now, and that's actually part of the problem. Is like I can't devote all of my energy to my Etsy store or my channels while still having a job plus an Etsy store. So something had to give, and unfortunately it was my channels. So I had not been, producing as much content. I have a ton of reviews ready to go. By the time I'm like able to sit down and film them, I'm like, oh gosh, I can't do it. I'm like mentally, I just can't. And there was even a period where I was so mentally drained that I couldn't even color. Like I was having trouble even coloring a page. So it wasn't like I wasn't finding it relaxing. Instead, I was stressing out. So yeah, it's been kind of a weird month, I would say, where I'm definitely suffering from burnout. The kids are back in school though, so that'll definitely help. My biggest thing now is I'm just trying to get into a routine again. I have OCD, so a person with OCD works much better or functions much better with a routine. When you don't have a routine, like you literally feel like the world is ending. And it sounds ridiculous, and I know it, but I can't control it. My brain wants to think what it wants to think. What color is this? Just picking out another color for the sand here. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been going through, is just major burnout and trying to find a way to balance it all. But I was getting depressed because I wasn't doing any content, or I'd have to keep canceling live streams and bumping them out a week, or doing this or that, or I don't even have a completed pages for August, because they're all WIPs, and yeah, I mean, it was basically pointless. So I just decided I would save them, finish them up this month. I am back to coloring. Like this page I actually did on a live stream testing these pencils out, and I haven't finished it yet, if you couldn't tell. But that's because I haven't had the mojo. And the hardest part is like my job right now, it sucks because if it went away, I could put my full creative efforts into everything else. But if it goes away, it also takes away a really big chunk of our household income. So it's hard to just be like, all right, bye. In fact, it's impossible to do, especially with my kids all now in higher level sports. I'm paying even more money for them. So yeah, it's like all my energy has to go there. Half my day goes there. But like, then that means I can't focus on the things that I'm actually passionate about. Of course, I think everyone in this world has that problem, right? Like, you're passionate about something, you want to do something, doesn't necessarily mean you get to do it. That's just life. Let's see, dark green, olive green. So I'm not by any means like trying to be like, oh, woe is me, I can't do what I want. Like, I totally get that. Olive green. Don't mind me, I'm just picking some colors. This isn't gonna be I'm not really trying to go for super fallish because this has tulips in it. And I had started this in the summer, to be fair, but so yeah, I'm by no means am I being like, oh gosh, my problems are so much worse than the world, because no, I know they're not. But yeah, I thought I would hop on and do a WIP and chat and kind of catch you guys up on, really, I'm just suffering from burnout, like major burnout. I got to the point where I wasn't even able to like function for normal tasks, you know, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and yeah, I just kind of got so overwhelmed that I had to take a break from something, and the only thing I could take a break from was the one thing that actually brings me joy, but I just didn't have time for it. Kind of sucks when there's something that relaxes you and brings you joy, and you're like, I don't have time to enjoy that. Don't you think? It's a depressing thought. But that's my reality at the moment. So yeah, I think I'm getting better balancing it all out. I will be working on more content now. I do have 3 YouTube channels. I have my diamond painting one, I have my watercolor one, and then obviously I have this one. So what I decided to do was, because I do enjoy diamond painting, in fact, I've done more diamond painting during this time than coloring. So I'm going to continue to post on there. However, my watercolor channel, at first I was like, well, I'm going to post once a week, because I was kind of like almost stressing, you know, like, oh, I need to put out content. I need to put out content. But you know what? That channel is just going to be on the back burner, and I will post content when I can. And if I can, great. If it goes a month with nothing, that's fine too, because basically everything on that channel is pretty much evergreen, as in it's not really irrelevant a few months later. Like I'm comparing watercolor by name right now, and those watercolor brands are gonna still be around because I'm picking brands that are artist grade, you know, Winsor & Newton, Daniel Smith, stuff like that. So I don't really have a risk of those just like up and disappearing. So putting that like on the back burner and just being kind of like, well, if I feel like posting a video this week for that, I will. If not, or 6 months goes by, whatever. And then I'm just gonna kind of get back to posting on here, primarily my diamond painting channel when I can, but I'm not gonna put pressure on myself. Like, oh gosh, I haven't posted in a week on my diamond painting channel or anything like that, because I think that just doesn't help when you're already like so taxed. And then, I mean, health-wise, I've had a few problems, you know, and then just both mentally and physically, but yeah, I've got to like put me first, I guess, which is so hard. Isn't it? It's sad, but like, you know, when you have kids, you're like, I don't have time for me, and that's one thing I'm trying to work on, is finding time for me. It just means that I have to sacrifice certain things, and that part sucks. So yeah, but that's basically what's been going on. I definitely fell into burnout, and luckily it wasn't like a full-on burnout where I just completely shut down. I kind of noticed the signs and kind of started backing off, but I mean, I swear, we're just having like the crappiest luck around here to boot. So my sister-in-law moved in. That's not bad luck, that's just FYI. But we ended up having to finish the basement bathroom so she would have a bathroom to use, and so we finished it. And then last week it suddenly started leaking through the wall into my husband's man cave. So the carpet was soaked, the wall like actually developed a hole, and the paint was bubbling. So we're waiting for the contractor to get out here and figure out what the heck is going on and where the leak is coming from. So we're back to them not having a bathroom to use. So I'm like, and I'm trying to work on a new thing where I just like change one thing a week, in my schedule, because I'm trying to get back to, like I said, I need a schedule. Like I function a lot better if there's a schedule and I know what's coming next. And it's funny because I went to my therapist. I see a therapist weekly, and I'm not ashamed of it. No one should be ashamed of that, by the way. And I had mentioned to her how I just feel uncomfortable. I'm really struggling. And she's like, yeah, this exact time last year you had the same problem. You were just trying to find your comfort zone and find a schedule that worked and a routine. And then you were comfortable, but you weren't really comfortable until close, like November. I'm like, oh, that's a long time away. So hopefully this time around I'm a little more efficient at getting myself together. But she is right. The jets, I swear. I'm actually filming later in the day than I normally would like to, but I had appointments and tons of diamond painting sticky wax to make. Yeah, beginning of the month and end of the month are the busiest for my store because I have to stock inventory. And then, of course, I had a Labor Day sale, so that brought in a lot more orders than I typically have. So my inventory went all bye-bye, so I had to restock it today. But otherwise, I'd be filming at my optimal hour, which is, in the morning. I feel like I'm more, I don't want to say alive. I'm just more creative feeling in the morning, whereas by the afternoon, my creativity's like, yeah, I'm on vacation. I don't know if anyone else notices that with them. Like, I mean, I can still color and stuff, but when it comes to like filming or something, my brain's like, yeah, no, I'm done. But like I could sit there and color in bed at 8 o'clock at night. I just can't film it. But like even after I film this video, I need to get working on some resin cover minders, which will be for October, but today is the perfect day to film that, or not film that, just do that. So that's in my plans, but I need like a nice yellow, so when I'm doing this grassy area, maybe I'll just work on the trees for now. But yeah, I do have a video I'm going to be working on this week with my favorite fall books and fall books I plan to work out of this fall, this year. Obviously there will be sometimes pages that pop up that weren't in my list, but sometimes you'll like think you have a good stack and then you'll be for some reason coloring and go like, oh, I forgot about that one book, or oh, I want to color in that other book. And so yeah, but I plan to get that out because I know a lot of people enjoy those videos. So I'm going to film that this week. Especially, I'm hoping I'll have more time this week now that my inventory has stabilized. I just have a ton of orders to fill now, so I need to get on that. Etsy's kind of funny, right? So you're like, oh, I didn't get an order today, and then, say you'll get like 15 in one day, and you're like, oh, crap. So it's like, it's an interesting relationship, because you'll be like, oh, I need orders, I want orders, and then you get a bunch, and you're like, oh, shoot, never mind. So but like, I do love doing it. It's just when you get a ton, you're overwhelmed. You're like, oh my gosh. But it's also nice in a way if you get a bunch and they're the same thing, because then I can just batch them. I'm talking about my wax melts, because those I make fresh. I don't let those sit. So it makes it a little harder because they have to be made to order. So yeah, it is nice when I get a bunch of orders for those at once, because then I'm like, oh sweet, I can make like 10 of these right now, and ta-da! But yeah, it just takes over my whole kitchen. That part sucks, because like there will be 3 days where my kitchen is just unusable, other than if you plan on eating wax for the day. That's kind of how my kitchen becomes. We're working on trying to find a way to make it like so I can I don't know, more easily like break everything out and not have to like take over the table and the counters. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but it's in the plans. Let's see, I think I'm gonna take this color, and then I want this. I was just looking at what I wanted to color next. Quite the interesting page, huh? But yeah, so that's basically what's been going on with me. And I kind of giggled because I was sitting down to film this, and I just happened to look at YouTube, and Claire, Color with Claire, has a video about why she hasn't been around, and I was like, oh, funny. We're both posting that at the same time. But I haven't watched hers yet, so I plan to go watch it. See if we can relate to one another. But yeah, basically just balancing the kids and their sports combined with, you know, my job that I still have but won't have someday. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird having a job that you know is going away and it takes up so much of your day and time. And then you kind of get flustered because you're just like, I could be putting all my efforts into, you know, XYZ right now, but I can't because I've got this right now. And so just doing a balancing act and trying to get myself back on schedule and find a schedule that makes me happy but isn't like super rigid, you know. At 9 a.m. I must be must be doing this kind of thing. But we'll see. I'm hoping I'll get it together soon. I mean, people at the post office know my name now because I'm dropping off packages like 3 times a week. So it's kind of funny. But because I'll pop in and they're like, oh yeah, Corey just said it right here on the counter. I'm like, thanks. It's a small post office too. Like, the closest one to me is in a really small town next to us, so it's one of those types of things. It's kind of cute in a way. It's like a little mom and pop government-owned facility. I don't know how to describe that any better. But, yeah, so I'm working on this page. I'm slowly kind of working on, but I may not finish this one. But I do plan to do the review on these watercolor pencils. It's on my list. I don't need to finish the page to review it. I've used them in enough instances already to kind of give you a good consensus. But I've been primarily just breaking out my Prismacolors, and I notice that makes me super duper happy. So I should probably stick with what's making me happy rather than be like, oh, I feel like I must use this. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we get in those little ruts where we're forcing ourselves to use a pencil or something that just we don't want to use. Doesn't mean I need to get rid of it. It just means I'm not feeling it in that moment. Because I have a whole bunch of favorite pencils. I just don't feel like using them right now. Like, using these watercolor pencils right now, I'm like, oh, this would be so much more fun to do with Prisma. I'm on a Prisma kick, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh, my watercolor Etsy store is open. I do have a listing on there. Because I'm so overwhelmed with everything else I'm doing for my other Etsy, and you know, I'm starting to make diamond painting pens out of resin and turning them on my lathe, which, by the way, is not easy to do. I can turn wood on a lathe, but turning resin, that's a whole different beast. So I'm very messy. Oh my gosh, you honestly look like you've been covered in coconut flakes when you're done. Just the way the resin peels off. But yeah, I've been working on those, and I want to get those up in my shop So I think what I'm going to do is list a lot of my supplies for my watercolor Etsy on eBay and sell those, because I enjoy making handmade watercolors, but I have to kind of think time-wise what's reasonable, and I just don't have time. Handmade watercolors takes a lot of time, and it's just, at this point, I don't have it, and I probably won't for months, and so I don't want those to just sit there. Not that pigments go bad, but someone who could use them right now could obviously benefit from it. So that's my plan, is to sell those on Etsy. And then my little watercolor sets I may just pull off and give away on my watercolor channel. So that's how come I haven't released another set on that store, just because, well, I'm so busy with the other Etsy and all the other products that are coming, or I'm planning to release with that one, that I'm like, I don't have time to do 2 Etsy stores. In theory, it would be awesome, but in reality, it's not going to happen. So yeah, well, I think I'm at a okay stopping point. Plus, it looks like they're about to do construction up front, and I don't want that in your guys' ears. So yeah, I apologize for all of the delays with live streams and, like, you know, my content being kind of lackluster or missing. I've basically been just doing flip throughs. I'm working on getting back into the groove of things, and I do want to upload more videos to my channel, but I'm not going to be like, I'm going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because that's just not fair to myself to say that. But you will start seeing more content on my channel now that I'm working out a balance without burning myself out in the process. So yeah, we'll see where that goes, but I definitely miss posting content. Oh my gosh, I had the cutest nails done a couple weeks ago for cotton. They were like cotton candy looking, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to film with those cotton candy nails. And I was so mad at myself because I think I did like 1 video, 2 maybe, with them. Isn't that sad? But I do my nails for my channel, well, and myself, of course, but you know what I mean, like, that's one of the fun things. But just a little fun fact there for you guys. I was bummed that I didn't get much filming done that week because I had the funnest nails, and it's too late in the season for those again. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you all who have been watching my videos that I do post, and those, you know, supporting my Etsy store and all that. And hopefully I am back on track so we can start enjoying content more. So until next time, take care. Bye now.